Minecraft version 1.21 was released just a few days ago, which means 1.22 is right around the corner. And according to the schedule, that means we are on track for another mob vote. Last year, Minecraft held the annual mob vote, and despite the controversial history of mob votes, it was the most controversial of them all. I mean, to this day, if you go right now and check any Minecraft social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, no matter where you look, people are rallying against the mob vote. Everything that has to do with Minecraft has players criticizing Mojang for being lazy and not adding crabs, armadillos, and penguins despite Minecraft being worth billions of dollars.
I hate Mojang's mob votes. You could just do all three of those in a day of implementation. How many people work at Mojang? Like, what the hell is that?
Now, normally when a horde of people go on social media to protest game company decisions, it usually lasts a week, maybe two. For example, last August, Riot Games got into some trouble when they denied The Guard, an esports organization, from participating in the Valorant Champions Tour due to an error from the organization. The players, who were not at fault, were essentially prevented from competing, and it caused the Valorant community to burst into a social media outrage. Yet, a few weeks after, much like many other movements in gaming, social media has forgotten about it and moved on to this day. This isn't to say that all video game drama dissipates after a couple weeks. There are certainly some games that are destined to be bullied into the ground, but for the most part, these controversies just come and go like most things online. The Minecraft community, on the other hand, is determined to shut down anything Mojang says even after all these months. Clearly there's a problem here, so what's the best way to fix it? Let's say we're in Minecraft's shoes. Is the best move to stop the mob vote? Or maybe there's a way we can fix the mob vote that is healthy for both the community and the gameplay. And are these concerns of the mob vote even logical? I'm going to be exploring what I believe are the main choices Minecraft has with future mob votes, and determining what option would yield the best results. So let's get started. The most obvious and probably the most likely option is that Minecraft could simply change nothing. They could roll with the same formula of having 3 mobs to pick from, the community votes, and the winner gets added to the game while the 2 losers get sent to the mob vote graveyard where dreams go to die. To me, this is one of the worst choices because it doesn't really fix anything. Maybe the community will get tired of complaining eventually and just become dull to it. Oh wow, another mob vote. That's awesome. And from what we've seen so far, I don't think the community is going to let up anytime soon. But this option also ignores many of the concerns about the mob vote that are undoubtedly valid. For example, why spend all this time and energy creating graphics and trailers for something that might never get added to the game, especially if Mojang is already struggling with content for the base game? Yet despite many of the obvious downsides, I still think this is the most likely option. I can totally see Mojang ignoring all the community backlash and doing the same thing this year. For me, Minecraft in 2024 feels so disconnected from its community. You see events like Minecraft Live where they put on this bubbly depiction of what Minecraft as a franchise is. Oh, here's some content we're adding to Minecraft Legends, a game which has drastically fallen off in popularity since its release. Here's some cool stuff in the Minecraft Marketplace, which is available on Bedrock Edition only. Oh wow, look at what people are doing with Education Edition. And they have some skits about the content in the latest Minecraft update, which are cute, but how much of this stuff really connects with how the community views Minecraft? I'm gonna bet that the vast majority of viewers haven't played Minecraft Legends, they haven't used Education Edition, how a lot of them probably don't even use Bedrock, which a lot of this is showcased on, and let's face it, Mojang prefers Bedrock Edition much more than Java. And I get that these live streams need to be family friendly and all, which is why these skits feel like they're out of Cartoon Network. I have no problem with that, and I honestly admire all the effort and showmanship being put into these live streams. But I don't think it captures the bigger picture of what Minecraft and its community are really like, no matter what age you are. It's like Mojang and Microsoft are in their own little bubble while the majority of the community acts a lot differently. The one part of Minecraft Live that will always bridge the gap between these two worlds is the mob vote, because the outcome is literally decided by anyone watching who wants to participate. And to a lot of fans, the fact that this is the only way to have your voice heard to Minecraft just feels so underwhelming. I mean, come on. We get to voice our opinions on the game once a year on a multiple choice test that adds an extremely low impact mob to Minecraft. And sometimes they just add mechanics from the losing mobs anyway. It just doesn't feel like Minecraft really hears their community feedback, which is why I can see them brushing off mob vote criticism and doing the same thing this year. There's another big reason why I think Minecraft might change nothing about the mob vote. So when you think about why the mob vote was created, what purpose it's supposed to serve, you think it's to get players hyped up for the next update. Because when players get a hands-on experience with the upcoming update, they become a lot more connected to it. Even though it doesn't seem like Minecraft always listens to the community, they do know how important it is for players to get involved with the game. Interaction is the goal, and the more the community interacts, the more they're aware of new features coming to Minecraft. While the latest mob vote was full of outrage, complaints, memes about Mojang's laziness, and even literal propaganda campaigns, the mob vote served its purpose of getting people to talk about Minecraft. Negative interaction is still interaction, and it put Minecraft in the spotlight when it might not have been otherwise. I mean, think about how many people now know about Minecraft 1.21 that wouldn't have known otherwise without the mob vote being such a hot topic. If I'm some higher up business dude working at Mojang HQ, only looking at the statistics and not community feedback, I'd see those numbers and think, damn, the mob vote really gave us a lot of attention, so let's run it back again next year and the year after. I want to believe that's not the case, but it is absolutely true that Minecraft got a boost in popularity from the mob vote drama. So yes, Mojang could ignore all the complaints being made about the mob vote and keep doing the same thing for this year, next year, and the year after that. But this is such an unsatisfying answer to me. This video is hypothetical, we're in the driver's seat wondering where to take the mob vote, and doing nothing is so bland. Ignoring the community, as likely as it is one of the worst choices to fix the mob vote. There is another way Mojang could respond to the backlash though, and that's the next option. Delete the mob vote. I mean, why do we even have a mob vote in the first place? Well, the first Minecraft mob vote was done back in 2017 during Minecon Earth, and before the event, 4 new mobs were given sneak peeks on the Minecraft socials. There were just rough sketches with a brief description of what each mob would do, but it was enough to captivate the audience into choosing their favorites. This would end up being the event that added the Phantom to Minecraft, a mob that is flamed as one of the most aggravating hostile mobs to encounter by a good chunk of the community. So already, mob votes are kind of off to a bad start. Interestingly enough though, the Chinese version of Minecraft had a similar mob vote the year after, where the panda won. And they were given 5 options, just in case you feel like the main version of Minecraft hasn't been left out to dry already. The 2018 and 2019 votes for regular Minecraft weren't technically mob votes, they were biome votes. The taiga won the 2018 biome vote, and the mountains won the 2019 biome vote. However, I say technically because one of the core components of each biome vote was a mob that would be added with it. And since mobs are such a unique and iconic feature for the face of a biome, they played a major role in which one won. I mean, just look at the taiga, which brought the fox, one of the most beloved mobs, to Minecraft. It seems like Mojang realized how symbolic mobs are because the last 4 Minecraft live votes have all been mobs. The glow squid in 2020, the LA in 2021, sniffers in 2022, and armadillos last year in 2023. And not one of these 4 have been without controversy. There was drama about Dream and other YouTubers rigging the glow squids win, allays are incredibly hard to find and are almost never encountered in vanilla gameplay, sniffers do basically nothing but they were at an advantage because they came packaged with 2 new flowers, and by the time we arrived at the armadillo, there was so much hate around the mob vote that losing out on penguins and crabs was just the final nail in the coffin. In fact, all 4 of these votes have had to deal with content creator bias, the winning mob being useless, and of course the 2 losing mobs never seeing the light of day again. Now there's no way Mojang could have predicted creators stirring up drama by swaying their audiences. But for the past 4 years, each mob vote has been more and more hated, snowballing with Minecraft's plateau in the gaming space. So maybe if it's so problematic, it shouldn't happen anymore. Minecraft could delete the mob vote entirely. This is, in my opinion, the second most likely fate for the mob vote. Because you know what a lot of this controversy reminds me of? YouTube Rewind. YouTube Rewind was also an annual show being put on by a billion-dollar company in order to connect with its audience, similar to Minecraft Live. It was basically a short video uploaded at the end of the year that referenced trends and memes that were popular throughout the year with numerous YouTuber cameos. In the beginning, there were no issues with YouTube Rewind, it was even exciting for many viewers. But as time passed and the audience expanded, YouTube fell out of touch with what trends and creators the audiences were actually watching, which made YouTube Rewind feel inauthentic to what the platform was actually like. As a result, the later rewinds were accused of being soulless brand productions that ignored many creators and trends who deserved a spot. And when the internet is unhappy, they will let you know loudly. YouTube Rewind received crazy backlash and set dislike records in YouTube history. You know, funny enough, I'm pretty sure this is one of the reasons the dislike button was removed, which was another L. And then in 2019, they put out this passive-aggressive Watch Mojo clone video, basically saying, this is why we can't have nice things. Oh, well, if you don't like what we're doing, then we don't care anymore. And then they shut it down altogether. And there has not been an official YouTube Rewind since. So far, the Minecraft mob vote has been following a similar pattern to YouTube Rewind. When the vote was first introduced, it received generally positive feedback, and the 2018 and 2019 biome votes were probably the most positively received ones in Minecraft history. Now, no matter which mob wins, there's going to be a lot of people who are unhappy. If we keep following this path and Mojang decides it can't take the criticism or put in the effort to make things better, there's a good chance they might just pull a YouTube and say, nope, you guys lost your gaming privileges, you're grounded, there will be no more mob votes ever again. Once again, this is a very boring way to fix the problem, and it actually leaves us with less content if nothing takes its place. After all, the updates will have less to look forward to, even if it's just a small change. Also, this is a really passive-aggressive response. Instead of ignoring the community, Mojang shows that they're actively against them and don't want to bargain about it. I think that's partially why a lot of people see YouTube hating their community when they did this with Rewind, and it would be a shame to see Minecraft go the same route. And I think they're smarter than this. They've got to realize that keeping the mob vote going is bringing them attention, even if it also brings a lot of backlash. It just seems like Alt F4 in the mob vote is a really childish way to fix the issue, and it accomplishes nothing, so I think this option may be even worse than prolonging the mob vote. Now we can finally look at stuff that actually makes changes to the mob vote instead of just ignoring the problem or shutting it down altogether. So what can we change? Well, if we look at the criticism Minecraft's been getting and we look past the memes and copy pastas and toxicity, the most common solution I've seen is just to add all the mobs to the game. Also, check this out. The first ever reply to Mojang telling them to add all 3 mobs to the game. Even back in 2017, this option was brought to the table. It's a very straightforward answer. Why tease the possibility of these new mobs if 2 of the 3 are never going to be added to the game? You get so many people hyped up for the Moo Bloom or the Copper Golem, all for their dreams to be crushed when their mob loses. And you know, despite all the memes about Mojang being lazy, I think they're more than capable of adding all 3 mobs to the game. Although the latest Minecraft updates have varied in size, the one mob that's added is never the biggest part, typically a small component, which might actually be another problem with the mob vote, but we'll tackle that later. So I think Minecraft could add all 3 mobs to the game, but why would they do that? I mean, sure, they could have the community vote for their favorite just for the lols, but it would be pointless because they're all getting added anyway. There's no stakes. One thing you have to give the mob vote credit for, at least initially, is that the stakes are high. The existence of a mob is dependent on your vote, which is why you see content creators rallying their audiences to vote for a certain mob, or people use hashtags and make art for them. You might like it or not, but this definitely does draw engagement to the game. To solve this, the most common solution recommended is to add all 3 mobs, but choose which one gets added first. So maybe the armadillo gets added in 1.21, and the penguin and crab get added in 1.22 or 1.23. This way there are stakes where the winning mob gets priority, but those who root for the other mobs aren't completely disappointed when their mob loses. This was actually done before, but in a slightly different format in 2018 and 2019. The 2018 and 2019 Minecon Earth biome votes gave fans the opportunity to choose which of 3 Minecraft biomes would be updated first. In 2019, the mountain biome won and was updated shortly after, but the Badlands and Swamp were promised to also be updated at a later date despite losing, which happened last year with the Swamp and the Wild update. And of course, each biome had its own iconic mob. The mountains had goats, the Swamp had frogs, and the Badlands had vultures. This was one of the better received Minecraft votes, and I think for good reason. Doing this but just with mobs would certainly be easier than an entire biome upgrade, so it's well within Mojang's development power. So yes, I think this would be a pretty good change all around, maybe except for a couple problems. For one, the stakes are still lower because all the mobs will be added anyway, so maybe there will be less hype and excitement about mobs added in the mob vote. But I think a bigger issue is the backlog of mobs that will build up as time goes on. If Minecraft does a mob vote every year, then 3 mobs will be added to Minecraft's catalog each time. The same will happen the year after that, and so on. And if Minecraft is still adding major updates annually, there's a good chance that mobs from different votes will overlap. Minecraft could slow down the mob votes or add each mob really quickly, but both of these would lose hype for them. It would get so confusing really fast, and each mob wouldn't get the spotlight it deserves. Plus, at that rate, I feel like the quality and uniqueness of each mob would start to degrade. However, I still think this idea makes things better and addresses community feedback, but there are other solutions that I prefer even more. Okay, but maybe the problem isn't the mob vote, but rather the state of Minecraft updates nowadays. There have been memes about Mojang being lazy for years, and I think a lot of the mob vote backlash piggybacks off of that. I'll talk about recent Minecraft updates in a future video, but basically a lot of the community expects much more frequent updates from a billion-dollar company, especially after such pivotal updates such as the Nether update and Caves and Cliffs. Because a lot of these more recent updates haven't added as much stuff, or at least it seems like they haven't, the role of the mob vote is a lot more important. And because 2 mobs won't be added, the fact that we're losing out on some content matters even more. So maybe instead of focusing on the mob vote, Mojang should just add more stuff to each update. Then the mob vote will be a bonus of each update, and the community will be satisfied instead of in a fit of rage. I'm not going to delve into this one too much in this video, but the whole argument of just add more content is problematic because it's really not that simple. It requires examining the whole philosophy behind Minecraft updates, and the fact of the matter is nostalgia in Minecraft's age make it a lot harder for updates to be as exciting as they used to be. And even if updates satisfied the community, I still think there are reasons to improve the mob vote. All that being said, I do have a lot to say about how Mojang adds content to the game, which I'll explore in a future video, but again, there's too much to talk about that will get off topic. So while I agree that recent updates have caused the mob vote to be more controversial, I don't think just adding more content is a reasonable solution. But hey, it's what a lot of people suggest, so I thought I'd at least bring it up. What if the problem is the fact that we're voting on mobs? What if the vote is on something else, like a block or a tool, for example? I actually think this could be a refreshing change to see because it opens up more possibilities for new mechanics in the game. As more and more mobs get added to Minecraft each year, it becomes harder to create new and unique ones. I could see there being a lot of overlap with previous mobs in the future, so expanding to other game items could make the vote more promising and fresh. Still though, this has a lot of the same problems that doing a mob vote does, so it's not a permanent fix. I also think doing a block vote would be kind of a downgrade unless that block had a lot of interesting properties, or maybe if it was a block type. But ultimately, despite its problems, the mob vote is just so cemented in Minecraft for me that a vote for anything else wouldn't be quite the same. Also, it's a lot more meaningful when the thing you're voting on has some sort of personal connection to it. Part of why the mob vote is so popular is because mobs like the Moo Bloom and the Penguin have that cute factor that make people go crazy. That being said, there are some benefits to exploring other aspects of the game than just mobs, which brings me to the final way we can fix the mob vote: expanding to more content than just mobs. I've been teasing this for a while now, but why stop at just mobs? What if the mob vote is part of something bigger, like a biome or a dimension or structure or something? Something that guarantees quality content from the vote while still being marketable and exciting. Make the mob the poster child of the update while still teasing new mechanics and features that are important on their own. Again, the 2018 and 2019 biome votes, the most successful votes in Minecraft history, updated not just mobs, but entire biomes as well, while also letting the two runner-ups see the light of day at a future date. The mountain biome in 2019 became a major part of the Caves and Cliffs update, which was one of the most well-known updates in the game's history. I think one of the best parts of the solution is that having a mob be part of something more gives you wiggle room to fall back on in case the mob ends up being a flop. Goats by themselves are pretty boring creatures with only a few unique mechanics, but in the context of powder snow, steep cliffs, and improved terrain generation, they became the symbol of the mountains update in Caves and Cliffs. Compare that to the sniffer, which is kind of just there after you dig it up, and all it represents is itself and a couple cosmetic plants. Now, of course, the same issue with Mojang and adding content comes to light. Is Mojang really capable of accomplishing more than just a mob vote? And again, my answer is yes if they change their philosophy with how they do updates. But also, it's possible because they've been doing it every year. Think about it. Why did the armadillo win last year's mob vote? Well, it is cute and it has unique sound effects and mechanics, but it drops an item that can be used to craft armor for pet wolves. You can give your pet dog in Minecraft armor if the armadillo gets added. For every one of these controversial mob votes, the winning mob has had some unique mechanic or drop that extends beyond the mob and gives it the edge. Well, I guess the glow squid had the edge for other reasons, but you know what I mean. I would simply prefer if Mojang just embraced this concept and expanded each vote to something more, with the mob representing what each option stands for. Of course, this solution still has the problem of losing options going to waste, but it has a lot of redeeming qualities that would improve the mob vote for the community and the state of Minecraft. So what's the best solution in my opinion? Well, each of these approaches offers a lot of perspective into what's most appealing about the mob vote, so the route I want to take combines a couple of them. First, I think the mob vote needs to be more than just mobs. Like I said, the mob votes have already had little to do with the mob itself and more about what else it adds to the game. Why did the sniffer win in a landslide? Because it was the only mob of the three being offered with 2 new plants. Why did the armadillo win? Because of wolf armor. Embrace each choice having some new blocks or tools or biomes or game mechanics with a mob as the representative of each option. We can even still call it the mob vote, just think of the mob being bundled with the extra stuff added with it. But this still has the problem of the 2 losing options never being touched again. So I propose that the 2 losing options get added to the game, just at a later date. I know I keep bringing up these 2 biome votes, and I'm basically modeling my opinion after them, but it makes sense because I think they were the most successful. This solves the main criticism of the mob vote being that all this work and support goes to waste if the mob doesn't win. The one questionable issue with this so far is that judging from Mojang's recent update prediction, they might not be capable of rolling out updates at that rate with good quality. I mean, they haven't even updated the Badlands from the 2019 biome vote yet, and that was 5 years ago. So my final fix is to do these modified mob votes every other year or so, just to give more time to create the content for all 3 options. One year Minecraft Live has this big vote between 3 options to add first to the game, and the next year's Minecraft Live has showcases of all this content they've been working on. This keeps up the hype even without a vote every year, and the winner still matters because they will be added several months before the other 2. These 3 changes I think have the ability to keep up the excitement for the mob vote while also improving the quality and addressing a lot of the community's complaints. It definitely feels more meaningful than throwing 3 mediocre mobs into a raffle every year, and also more fair for each choice. But let me know what you think about this take in the comments, and if you have an idea that would be even better. I am curious to know what solutions you're all cooking up. I've talked a lot about the criticism surrounding the mob vote, and I should probably cut Mojang some slack after bashing them for most of the video. Because while Mojang does have their problems, the community does too, and there are definitely a lot of people taking this too far and being extremely toxic online. There are also some players in the community who will never be satisfied no matter what Mojang does to the mob vote. Minecraft is such an old game, and with each coming year it becomes harder and harder to satisfy the players who are getting bored. It's also worth acknowledging that there's no easy person or group to pick on when it comes to Mojang's problems. Developers don't get to dictate where their resources are being allocated, and many of the higher-ups at Mojang and Microsoft are probably just focusing on where the money is, not what makes the game enjoyable for old players. Minecraft and its community are all part of a bigger picture that requires a lot of things to go right in order for everyone to be happy. And I think the mob vote is really representative of this because it's one of the only links we have between groups of fundamentally different people. In theory, it's a great way for the community to be engaged and for Mojang to hear the community's opinions, but right now it's at its lowest state. So should Mojang delete the mob vote? I made a few suggestions from my point of view, so have many others, but ultimately it comes down to what they want to do. At the end of the day, Mojang, we are so invested into things like updates and the mob vote because we love the game and we want to see it succeed. We want it to be fun for us, but also in a healthy state to keep the game alive. And if we can't reach some mutual understanding, there's a good chance that you'll choose one of the detrimental solutions that will make the problems even worse than before. I did bash the mob vote a lot, but that's because I care about it, and I think the mob vote, with a few changes, would greatly help the community and the game. But I'll take back everything I said if you remove phantoms from Minecraft.